What is up, my guys? I will be breaking down the top 10 biggest cryptids in Indiana. So you might say, why Indiana? It's because I live in Indiana, so I figured it'd be a good idea to do this and see what I could do. I'm going to be breaking them down, giving some information on them, and then uh, giving my input if I could survive them or even defeat them, because, who knows, right? Right. Let's give it a try. Who knows? All right, number 10, the Lake Manitou serpent. Lake Manitou near Rochester, Indiana, is steeped in legend with tales of a serpent called, I'm going to botch his name so hard, Meshikiniabek, also known as the Devil's Lake Monster. According to stories from the 1830s, witnesses described to a creature measuring 60 feet in length with a horse-like head and skin marked by large yellow spots. The Potawatomi, who once inhabited the area, named the lake the Devil's Lake and refused to fish, bathe, or canoe in its waters, believing an evil spirit resided beneath the surface. Over the years, the legend of the Devil's Lake monster has become ingrained in the region's folklore, adding a layer of mystery to the otherwise tranquil lake. Okay, that's pretty crazy. It looks pretty scary. I'm not gonna lie to you. 60 feet is a lot of feet. Okay, I'm not gonna scale you back on that one. I'm not gonna push the I'm gonna push the book on this one. I'm done. We're cooked. If this thing was real, I mean, it could be real, right? Because there's things like the Tomboa and all that kind of crazy stuff. So maybe one slithered its way up here. I've seen stuff that snakes from Florida have come up here, so it isn't that far of a guess that maybe one of them was like, "Hey, who knows? Maybe I'll take a climb up to Indiana while the races are at." So, all right, that was it. Let's see. Now, let's see the next one. Number 9, the Silver Creek Beast. The strange Silver Creek Beast is said to roam the Silver Creek area in Indiana. It hides among the thick forest and trails, lurking in the shadows without being easily spotted. Its legend spreads from the deep wilderness to the edges of nearby towns, reminding the populace of dangers lurking beyond civilization's reach. Ooh, that is scary. Uh, there's not many photos of this creature. I think it's kind of like a cryptid kind of vibe, where it's like, it could be kind of like a Bigfoot creature. So if it's a beast, I think I could probably take it down. Yeah, I'm pretty confident. I'm not saying I could take a bear down, but if it's a beast and it's not been seen that much, it's not eating that much. Okay. Now, of course, if a tree falls in the forest and no one can hear it, did it fall? Right. So it is fair to say that I don't know if he's eating well, if the creature's eating well, but it's fair to say that if no one's seeing him, he's probably not eating that much. He's not going out that much. So he can't be that strong. I mean, come on, right? Number 8, the Crawfordsville Monster. On September 5th, 1891, the Crawford Journal reported that two ice delivery men sighted a strange phenomenon that hovered in the air above their location, describing it as a horrible apparition that filled them with dread. Oof, tough. Like, oh man, that made me dreadful. A similar sighting was reported by a Methodist pastor and his wife. You can't get wrong with those. So they were being right. They don't lie. The Crawfordsville Journal described it as about 18 feet long and 8 feet wide and moved rapidly through the air by means of several pairs of side fins. So like a fish or something? Okay. 18 feet long. That's pretty long. It was pure white and had no definitive shape or form, resembling somewhat a great white shrew fitted with propelling fins. There was no tail or head visible, but there was one great flaming eye, and a sort of wheezing, plaintive sound was emitted from a mouth which was invisible. It flapped like a flag in the winds as it came on, and frequently gave a great squirm as through suffering unutterable agony. Huh? Are you sure it's a monster? Because I don't think it's a monster. I think it's just a creature that's lost in a different universe. According to interviews conducted years later by Crossfield reporter and Florentine Society member Vincent Gatiss, hundreds of residents observed the phenomenon on the following evening, with some claiming they could feel the monster's hot breath as it swooped over them. Wow, that's pretty tough. The Indianapolis Journal repeated the September 5th sightings, as did other newspapers across the country, including the Brooklyn Eagle, whose article later attracted the attention of early paranormal investigator Charles Fort. Um, okay, now I was just talking about that. Wow, but that's pretty intense. I mean, If you can't really see it, but you just see one great big flaming eye, I think that's one of them biblical angels, like biblical described angels. So I don't think I have a chance with that because if I can't swing, a club at it like a caveman that I am, there's not much chance. So I'm cooked. That is a cooked me a cooked done deal with that one. Number seven, the Mud Mermaids. According to Mysterious Universe, the story of the Mud Mermaids took place in the town of Vevey, Indiana, a small town on the Ohio River about halfway between Louisville and Cincinnati in Switzerland County. Okay, back around 1891. 1891 was a hot day. It was a hot year for these cryptids. They're like, "Oh, you know what? We're all coming out, and we're gonna do our thing. Just gonna get the locals low going there." Keep in mind that mermaids are typically associated with the sea or the ocean. The idea of them being spotted and placed nowhere near a body of water, what size of, of that size, is strange in and of itself. But as the story goes, these were not your typical mermaids. According to those who claim to have seen them, the mud mermaids were more lizard-like in appearance. They were described as having the upper body and arms of a human, but with yellowish skin and webbed hands with sharpened claws. They also had pointed ears similar to a dog, and their lower half was tapered to a point like a lizard's tail. Ugh, tough. Supposedly, they were also aggressive if you got too close, according to a story shared by Mysterious Universe by a Confederate captain from Kentucky by the name of J.M. Ozier, that there were two of the creatures. One appeared to be male, the other female. Ozier's accounts say that he saw and had been menaced by the male, however, and there were no additional details saying why the creature became aggressive towards him. My totally uneducated guess. Interesting. Uh, Yeah, mud mermaids. If there's a male and a female, I feel like I could talk to the female and be like, hey, maybe chill for a second. I mean, if they're mermaids in the middle of Indiana, what are you doing? I mean, like low keyly, what are you actually doing? So who knows, right? Uh, could I defeat them? I can't really find much. I just think of a mermaid, I guess, like a scary mermaid. I'm gonna have to say, yeah, I think I could fight the male. I mean, if he can't really run, I could hit him with something, right? I mean, I could a car, who knows, right? So I think it's a good chance of me defeating them, at least the male, and then maybe if the female's not aggressive, I can be like, you know what, go prance back to wherever you came from. If you need water, I guess, like give it a cup of water. Who knows? Whatever. Number six, the Piazza bird. I hope I'm saying that right, not botching it. This is kind of in between because it was also between Illinois and Indiana, so this one like going places. It wasn't an Indie animal, right? Okay, here we go. The Piazza bird, a fearsome monster known as the Piazza, once terrorized the Illini people near what is known now Alton in Illinois. It ate deer at first, but corpses from a war gave it a taste for human flesh. Swooping down, it would snatch victims from with it in its talons and carry them back to a cliffside cave, tearing them apart for dinner. According to the one translator, it also meant the bird that devours men. Oh, jeez. There's a whole painting associated to it. Damn, that looks like that Greek thing. I forgot what it's called. The Griffith. Yeah, I mean, it could have honestly been around. See, the thing about cryptics, and also, I'm not surviving this thing. This thing looks horrifying. If men in the war that were brutal barbarians back then couldn't survive this thing, I'm definitely gone. Okay, and anything that comes from Native Americans, I tend to believe because they don't have time to make things up. They're already trying to survive between the colonizers and their crops being destroyed. So they don't. I don't. I don't think they were being. Well, I don't think they were lying. I think they were being legit. So yeah, this thing would absolutely kill me if it could just pick up men like that. So I'll be cooked. I'll be cooked. The Thunderbirds of Lake Michigan. Oh, sorry, number five. Uh, this was reported around the 20th century in multiple reports, I guess all across. Witnesses near the Indiana Dunes described enormous dark birds with prehistoric features, some compared to the Priasaurus. Often sightings would include slow gliding flight, silent movement, massive shadows passing overhead. I mean, look, here's the thing. If they're birds and they're reportedly 15, 20 feet long, I mean, I assume they're just thunderbirds in general, that cryptid, there's no way you're surviving. I mean, what can there be said? And honestly, if it could have been a massive hoax, but I feel like stuff back then, there's no way it could have been a massive hoax. There's not enough time for that. Nobody's got time to do all these psyops. So Yeah, and I'm cooked, right? There's no way. There's no way with this one. No way with this one. Number four, the Goat Man of Bridgewater, reportedly 1970s to present time, so he's still around, I guess. 6 to 8 feet long, or tall, I should say. Drivers on rural roads claim to see a muscular humanoid with goat legs and horns. Stories say it stares at cars from the woods, charges vehicles, emits growls and screams. Like many goatman legends nationwide, it may be a localized variation of rural fear folklore tied to association in dark back roads. Look, another thing about cryptids like that are just all over the place. I believe it. Look, I think I mean United States, and bear with me here because it's gonna be a long shot. And put on your tinfoil hat for this one. I believe that a lot of these things are real. Okay, I feel like the government made these things. They messed with things. They were just messing with stuff, and then they just created these creatures because who isn't splicing DNA trying to make super soldiers? And they're like, hey, why don't we just combine a goat and a human and a boy? I mean, and a man. And there you go, goat man. So who knows, right? I mean, there's like undiscovered places in all over the mountain area, the mountain regions. So if they can move fast and then just hide away in the woods, they probably are pretty good at that. And I'm not fighting a goat man because he would beat me. A man that's already 6 to 8 feet tall would already beat me. A goat man would definitely beat me with his hooves. I mean, there's no way. Plus, the thing looks horrifying. I saw pictures of it. It looks like insanity. So, no, no way to survive this one unless you're loaded to the teeth. So, yeah. And number two, the Beast of Busco, Oscar Churubusco. I actually have been around Churubusco and I've seen this thing, so it's kind of funny. 4 or 5 feet long, 500 plus pounds, 1949 major flap of sightings. In 1949, locals claimed a massive snapping turtle was living in Folk Lake. Two men, Ora Blue and Charlie Wilson, said they saw a turtle the size of a dining room table. The story explored nationally. Crowds gathered, the lake was partially drained, and people hunted Oscar for weeks. No giant turtle was officially captured. Although large alligator snapping turtles do exist, some believe it was an usually big specimen. Others think it was exaggerated by the media frenzy. Look, I believe that this is probably the only one I'll say that it's probably just oh hey, he looks huge, right? It's like maybe they saw a snapping turtle on the. I mean, back then it's like with things just being like accounts being more credible. I feel like two guys were just chilling and then they saw a snapping turtle and then they're just bored. Like what else is there to do in 1949 but fish and chill, right? So they saw probably a snapping turtle on like the edge of the water, and then they're like, "That's huge looking." And then they probably got back home, and then they're like, wouldn't it be funny if we just kind of like make a joke out of it? And then they're like, "Whoa, look at this huge turtle! It's crazy! It's crazy that there's a huge turtle. Like it's probably the size of a car or whatever." And then it's like everyone's like, "Oh, really?" And then the minute it went off, they're probably like, "All right, we can't say we lied. We're just gonna kind of go with the story." And yeah, I mean, it was never found, so it's like could have gone away, probably not. I mean, realistically, probably not because Indiana is barren, so that turtle is not going far. I mean, turtles don't even go fast at all. So come on. So, oh yeah, but could I survive? Yeah, most likely. I mean, if it's a snapping turtle, if I'm in front of it, then duh, I'm gonna get bit. But turtles don't move that fast. If I'm in water, then yeah, I'm cooked. But I'm like, if we're on the dry land, I'm just going sideways and karate chopping that thing. You know, I'm keeping the shell too because it'll be mine. I'm gonna put it on. I'll be the next. I'll be the turtle man from there on. And at number one, we have the Gully Wampus. Gully Wampus, I guess. Looking here, let's give a little backstory to this one. At Camp Louis Ernst in DuPont, Indiana, Boy Scouts in the 1960s and 70s would take younger scouts out into the edge of the camp and look for a creature called the Gullywampus. According to an IU student's 1977 interview with a former camper who experienced this in 1963, the Gullywampus was a large, hairy creature that will get you if you don't watch out. The scout said that if I had lived in the camp, I have lived in the camp since 1920s, appeared on moonlit winter nights and had flashing red eyes in the middle of its head. It's also said that it would tear up trees, throw boulders, make moaning noises, and grab and shake unwary hikers. The practice of tricking younger scouts is akin to snipe hunting, initiation ritual practice at summer camps across the United States. Interesting. Huh. The gully wampus. Huh. I never heard of this thing, so it's interesting. But I mean, I this has to be like, a thing where somebody would dress up as, this thing and then just run around and scare kids, right? I mean, it had to be that. There's no way there's some, shake. It was real because no one died, and it was just a thing where it was like, okay, hey, just put this on, go scare some kids, and then shake them, and if they like run to them, but if they slow down or they're slow, just grab them, give them a little shake, and then run away, like you know. So this isn't even a cryptid that I would want to fight because you know the appearance may be a little intimidating, but it's not harmful. It's not hurting anybody. I'm not gonna do anything to it. I'm not. This is a peaceful creature that's probably just misunderstood. I think all of them really are, if we're being honest here. So I'm the monster. These cryptids that I'm looking for, they're not the monsters. I'm the monster because I want to fight them and destroy them. And there's no way. So I'm not doing that. So I think going through this list, I realized that the real monster was inside you all along because I think they're just equally as scared as you are with them, right? I mean, maybe if you're in their field, in their grounds, maybe not. Maybe you would be more scared. I would be more scared. I'd definitely be more scared of seeing a red glowing creature. But I mean, who knows, right? Who knows what really is out there? Because yeah, I mean, do you want to look for yourself? Do you really want to find these things? Probably not, because they're if they are by any chance real, I don't think it'll be any. I don't think there'll be a survival rate for these. We can barely survive bear attacks. Um, we can barely survive ourselves, right? I'd rather be with a bear than a man in the woods. So who knows? I mean, scary stuff, but at the same time, we're just seeing them. It's like, hey, look, there goes the Gullywampus. Not a bad name. I like the name. Gullywampus sounds like a verb, but to what? I'm a Gullywampa you. So who knows? But anyways, guys, this will be the wrap of the video. If you enjoyed it or want more of these videos, let me know because I'm open to anything. Literally, just tell me what to do and I'll do it. So thank you guys. Have a good day.